I got an experience that I will never experience on any other service trip or at home or here.
I don't know how to describe it to someone who hasn't been on that trip. You can't describe it, but it was healing. I've always wanted to be a teacher. That's just my goal in life, is to be a teacher. But it changed how I want to teach and where I want to teach and the community I want to teach in, the difference I want to make.
The potential for students to come to the Cheyenne River Reservation and volunteer with us and develop those relationships that they could then connect to the literature was something that I knew would be powerful and life-changing, and something that Fairfield needed to do.
I was floored by the experience. I teach American Indian literature because I'm committed to alerting my students about history, but I'd never had an immersive experience.
The tragedy that they feel in their everyday life was something that I first learned about in the Native American literature course, and it's something that stuck with me after that.
He and the staff spend 5 months on the reservation every single year, and then they go back several times in the wintertime. They live in a shed, they sleep in sleeping bags, they have no access to regular showers, they go to the bathroom in a privy, and they give and they give and they give to of themselves to help people who desperately need their help, whether it's building houses, providing a summer camp and support for children, hosting community functions, community meals.
During my time at Fairfield, I knew that I always wanted to have service be a part of my life, and it just worked out naturally that I was able to continue working with Simply Smiles, devoting myself in a way that just I felt like anyone should do.
I knew that I had to do more, that I could do more, that the people, Zach Gross in particular, former student of Fairfield University, was teaching me, the teacher, about how to be a better human being.
The hope that comes from people traveling across the country to be with these kids especially lets them know that they're not forgotten.
You're reading the statistics and they're really hard to read, but then you go there and you meet Steve, whose son committed suicide 2 years ago, and he couldn't go back in his home, so they built him a new house, and you deal with those kind of things. It's actually experiencing it is so much different than reading the statistics of it.
It was an everlasting experience that completely changed my life.
What makes it so powerful is every single moment that you're there is purposeful.
People on the reservation, and specifically in La Plante, are living in less than adequate conditions. Youth suicide is one of the hugest problems that we face. It's a very real and constant danger in the life of Native youth.
We got to see a time-lapse video of us putting all the walls up and the roof trusses in place, and I saw that and I cried, because at the end Kendall, whose house we built, is standing out front with his, I would say, 3-year-old son, holding him in his arms, and the outside of the house is stuccoed and painted, and the roof is in place, and the door is on, and the windows are in. And I looked at it and I was like, they're going to live here for the rest of their lives. This child is going to grow up in the house that I personally had hands in building.
Thinking back on my time as a student and in the Native American literature course, we talked a lot about how Natives today experience trauma every day. Just waking up, they have symptoms of PTSD. And that psychological trauma is something that I think is very difficult for non-Native peoples to even grasp. And so us coming in as an outside organization and just listening and responding to the real needs of the people there is a way to show them that their concerns, their problems matter in this world, and we can do something about it.
When you have 50, 70 locals or so and their children and grandchildren there to attend a community meal, and both during the meal, after the Fairfield University help serve the community, sit down and then break bread with them, and they get to hear the stories from people, that they can share who they are, that experience has a profound impact on the kids because they start to see the deep humanity of the person on the other side of the picnic table.
I met a child the first day named Angel, and from right away he was like attached to me, which was really cool. We went on multiple trips and he was always right next to me. I don't know how it happened. You just develop these personal relationships so easily because they are very open, inviting individuals.
We had a different experience, we had different intentions, but we all really overall felt the same way about how much we loved these people and that we want to help.
In my Native American literature course, it's so helpful to, like, we're talking about these issues in all the books we're reading. I'm like, oh, Steve talked about that, or like Apache told us about that, and it's really cool to be able to have this real life experience. Made it more of an emotional connection of what I read. It's not so much I read this and I think, oh, okay, all of these literary devices are in play. This author was trying to do this. This is his message or her message. It's not about that. It's really more, what were they feeling? What did they experience? How can I, as an individual in the world, help with this or try and prevent this, or what role do I play in it?
It makes that character real to them and resonate with them at a deeper level that I think then has the capacity to be transformative, where they recognize that their academic experience isn't something abstract. It's something that is linked intimately to the world.
I can't fully understand their life, but it puts me into the perspective of what I saw there and what I heard and the people that I met, and every time I read about a fictional character, I just think like, oh, who would that have been?
If I had had the opportunity as a 20-year-old or to go to somewhere like the reservation, I think it would have taught me at a very young age, not only do I have an obligation to try to do something, but that I actually have the capacity to make a difference.
That sense of community is being rebuilt, truly, and it's an intangible thing, but when everyone is together and having and sharing a meal together and supporting one another at a guitar recital, at the culmination of our music camps, those are the moments when you can really feel that the change is real.